Welcome to the February meeting of the Policy Review and Performance Scrutiny Committee.
Coming into the Council, it's a major undertaking. It's a huge organisation with quite a complex structure and complex policies. In order to understand that, a very good way to start for a new councillor is to join a scrutiny committee where you're hearing presentations, you're able to ask questions, and you never look foolish in asking a naive question. It's always an important question. My committee, because it's policy and performance, is responsible for things like the budget. It also is responsible for areas like major projects in terms of buildings, major office developments. It's concerned with looking at any policy that's important to the council. We've had to adapt, as all committees have, and we've used Microsoft Teams, and it's actually been very successful. And I found that participation has been good. I managed to chair it well enough, and I think it's worked well.
Well, welcome to everybody. This is the third meeting of the COVID-19 Scrutiny Panel, established by Council in May 2020 to provide measured and proportionate scrutiny in a time of emergency.
We were asked to form a COVID-19 scrutiny panel, and that is all the scrutiny chairs. I was asked to chair it, and one of the things that happened in doing so was really all the scrutiny chairs came together as a team.
We are ramping up that advertising now, so we did start it quite quietly, and now we're starting to put posters on more sites across the city centre and in those smaller areas, shopping centres that have been also affected by the begging. So you will see more advertising of this shortly.
Yeah, but we emphasise that it's for a good reason, and that's the difficulty you've got, isn't it?
Previously we'd tended to operate in isolation and with our own committees, but this time we had to work together collectively, and I think we did that exceptionally well. And that resulted in certain recommendations which were accepted. We've recently been looking at the way that scrutiny impact is made and how people follow through on the accepted recommendations that come out of scrutiny. And we've got a major report that's being accepted, which is now being implemented, which is going to make a massive change.
Still a robust and rigorous corporate plan, having gone through a strong process. And
we have got a performance panel which looks at the corporate plan before it's finalised.
Chair, I thought it was a very constructive discussion. A number of the recommendations coming out of that discussion will be included, I'm sure, Cabinet a meeting later today to consider it.
We were able to take part in that, and other scrutiny chairs got involved, and a number of the recommendations that we made turned into changes to the corporate plan. I think public engagement is one of the challenges for the future. So that is an area that we need to certainly start looking to develop and find ways to engage the public in doing that.
Thank you, Chair. I suppose I found that presentation quite interesting, and I suppose the aspects I wanted to pick up on are sort of how you marry what we're doing in terms of supporting staff and their well-being and their mental health.
In terms of the way that the council is structured, I think what's going to happen is there will be far more home working. We've got some research undertaken on home working, so we're looking at external organisations and the experience of others who have been doing it for a number of years, not just during COVID. I'll be very interested to hear what sort of experiences they have that we can bring in to the council's policy making.
I couldn't agree more with what Councillor Berman has just said. Definitely, I've noticed over recent weeks, as we've gone into a local lockdown scenario, there is definitely some wear and tear beginning to emerge. You can see it. You are beginning to have well-being cases being raised more often, it seems to me, more complex.
Any major policy changes like that, or changes to the organisation, would come before a scrutiny committee, and we would be able to examine that in detail and depth and comment on it and question it and make recommendations.
Thank you. It's just in relation to the consultation. I'm just wondering, in terms of consulting with young people, and it's two questions really. One is whether there's an accessible child-friendly version of it, and whether you are still going to try and engage with the schools.
There's no other way for any backbench member of the council to take part in getting involved in changing things, examining things, questioning things, and potentially changing people's minds about how things should be done.
We don't have a separate version of this consultation that's been drafted specifically for children, but what we do have is, as Councillor Weaver was saying, the evidence from our Child Friendly City survey, which was conducted towards the end of 2020, which gives a flavour of the experiences, the impact of COVID-19 on young people in the city, which builds a broader picture. We will absolutely be continuing to approach schools and other stakeholders who will help us to access young people.
All parties recognise the importance of being able to scrutinise the administration that is in power. My own experience is that Cardiff has probably got one of the best scrutiny operations in Wales, possibly more widely than that.